Sarasota, Florida sheriff gets it. Unlike the Charlotte County sheriff, we must stop the war on drugs. It's a war on us and it can't be won. Sheeple have addictions and need help. This policing for profit is not working. Come on vacation, leave on probation should not be Florida's motto for a military police state. We shouldn't have the police state in the first place. Sheriff, this is a social issue we can't arrest our way out of. By Jonathan Choice, staff writer. Sarasota. During a targeted, month-long sting, Sarasota County Sheriff's Office arrested 28 people wanted in connection with drug crimes, resulting in 95 charges, authorities said Friday. Those arrested in the campaign, which ran through March, combined for 332 prior felony charges and 267 prior misdemeanor charges. To curb the heroin epidemic, agents used intelligence-led policing methods to pinpoint hotspots in Sarasota, Northport, Venice, and Englewood known for high crime rates and narcotic sales. During the investigation, detectives seized weapons and dozens of pills later determined to be fentanyl, a drug which has legal uses for cancer patients that is 100 times more potent than morphine. Using a four-prong approach, enforcement, prevention, education, and treatment should make a dent in the heroin problem, Sarasota County Sheriff Tom Knight said. This is a social issue that we cannot arrest our way out of, he said. The community has to take ownership of this epidemic that we're dealing with, Knight said Friday during a news conference at the Justice Center. This is not just nationwide, but here in Sarasota County. We need to stay alert and aware of what's going on in our community, he added. It's important for the community to know, this problem is not going away anytime soon without their help. Knight said the agency investigated 71 heroin overdoses, including 14 deaths, since January. Deputies responded to 32 overdoses in March alone, a 220% increase from last March. We've been using naloxone, a opiate reversal medication that can help in the moments following an overdose. But naloxone isn't always enough, Knight said. We facilitate addiction recovery services and opioid recovery services in our jail. But those forms of treatment are not always enough. We educate drug users and their family every time we respond to an overdose. But sometimes that simply is not enough. Pointing to a board with 28 mugshots, Knight said, these are certainly the faces of the epidemic. Heroin-related deaths increased 248% from 2010 to 2014, and in 2015 alone, more than 13,000 nationwide died from the drug, according to Center for Disease Control data. Heroin, along with methamphetamines and prescription drugs, are seen by many experts as the drugs posing the greatest threat to the public, surpassing cocaine. According to National Seizure System, there's been an 80% spike in heroin seizures from 2011 to 2015, the most recent data available, with 6,722 kilograms confiscated in 2015. In the early 1980s, the average heroin purity level was 10%. But in 1999, that quality increased to an average of 40%, according to the Drug Enforcement Agency. Over that same span, prices plummeted. Adjusting for inflation, prices per gram of pure heroin were $3,260 in the early 80s. Now it's around $622 while increasing in purity. Synthetic opioids, including fentanyl, had an 72% increase in deaths from 2014 to 2015, according to the CDC. Many times heroin is processed or cut with fentanyl, making it more potent and deadly. One of those arrested was Finesse Lagler, 29, 700 block of N. Osprey Point Ave, Sarasota, who is charged with drug possession, synthetic opioid, as well as child neglect after agents witnessed her boyfriend inject her with a syringe as her child watched. She relinquished control of the highly addictive drug that's killing people across the country, Knight said of Lagler. A total of 36% of those arrested were from the South County, including Venice, Nokomis, Northport, and Englewood. Richard Pirro, 29, of the 300 block of Aurora Road, Venice, is charged with 3 counts of sale of methamphetamines within 1,000 feet of a convenience store, while Ashley Queen, 31, of the 1200 block of S. Venice Boulevard, Venice, is charged with 3 counts of sale of rock cocaine and sale of a controlled substance. Both Catherine Doherty, 28, of the 100 block of Sunnyside Drive, Venice, and Angela Gaudioso, 27, of the 80 block of Cedar Street, Englewood, are at large. Both are charged with the sale of either methamphetamines or controlled substances. Knight said the investigation made a dent in the epidemic. Most of the drugs are coming into the area through Mexico, Knight said. The synthetic drugs are Chinese, which are then shipped to Mexico, laced with heroin and routed to Atlanta before ultimately being spread through the Gulf Coast. A bill working its way through the state Senate, SB 150, along with its House companion HB 477, seeks to tighten penalties on controlled and synthetic drug offenses by changing the drug's classification to a more serious Schedule I class, which is reserved for cocaine and marijuana. Fentanyl is a Schedule II drug. The bill, sponsored by Senator Greg Steube, R. Sarasota, also opens up prison diversion programs for nonviolent offenders. I don't know if laws can control this, Knight said when asked if the passing of SB 150 and HB 477 would aid in the issue. I don't know that locking people away will control it. That's part of it. But it affects so many people that have never committed crimes before. Arresting people doesn't cure addiction. Deputies used naloxone 61 times a year ago, saving 56 people. So far this year, the life-saving agent has been used 80 times. If you do nothing, most likely you will end up going to a funeral of a loved one. So sitting back and being complacent, it's not that easy, Knight said. They are addicted. We don't want to just arrest. It's more important they get clean for the rest of their life. Knight said education is key to beating addiction. Law enforcement cannot fix this social problem, he said. This is a community problem and a community fix. We have to use all of our resources to get people healthy. Email, jscholes@sun-herald.com.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt-free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, you know, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.